Greetings, friends. Dennis LaRue. I'm back from Florida. I'm back here in San Antonio, Texas, bringing you what I've been bringing you for the last 46 weeks, and that's the hashtag Steel Toes Required quote of the week. And I'm telling you right now, I am fired up about tonight's quote, about tonight's lesson, because it comes from Mark Cole again. We heard from him last week. This week is Mark Cole again, different quote. He is the man. He is the CEO of all of John Maxwell's enterprise. And I'll tell you what, he dropped a quote this week at the International Maxwell Certification event that I've heard before, and he has rocked my world with it as I thought about it more this week, and I got to share it with you. Hey, Mom, glad you're here. I'll give you a call this week, tell you everything that happened in Florida. And you better come ready. There were 3,000 coaches, speakers, and trainers that were in attendance, and I'll tell you what, those are my kind of people. I was bouncing off the walls from the energy and excitement. I'm refueled, I'm re-energized, and I'm ready to bring you some toe stomping, gut punching, rib breaking quotes and things for you to work through. So are you ready for this week's quote? Are you ready? You better be ready, because here it comes. I'm giving it to you right now. And that quote is this: when the student is ready, the mentor appears. Did you catch that? I'm going to say it again. When the student is ready, the mentor appears. So think about that for a second. Think about that. You know, when I think of student, I think of a lifelong learner, somebody who's hungry. That's what a student is. And I'm passionate about students. I'm passionate about lifelong learners. I'm passionate about it because I'm one. I'm one with them. It's who I am. It's what made me who I am. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to share with you some things that have happened to me from these past couple of weeks that because of that dedication to lifelong learning, that has propelled me to new heights. But let's not chase that rabbit. Let's bring it back around, because I'm also very passionate about you, and I'm passionate about your personal growth. So because of lifelong learning, I got to ask you a question. Are you a lifelong learner? Are you learning new things? How are you about learning new things? Because, get them on. Here it comes. Here comes the toe crusher. If you are not willing to learn new things, then here's your action step for next week. After I get this action step, you can turn this off. Here's your action step. If you do not like and are unwilling to learn new things, you need to make your first call to the mortician. So you can get a plot, get your coffin, get your marker, get your date, because you're dead where you're standing and sitting right now. So make it official. Get all the things in place. If you're not willing to learn anything new, you're not growing. You're dead. There's some TV show out there called The Walking Dead. That's what I think of. That's what I think of. You're walking around as a shell, but you're not growing. So make it official. Get all the things lined up and in place, because you're not willing to grow. But that's not any of you. Any of you here listening, I know you listen, because we've been doing this for 46 weeks. And you've been passionate about your growth. I'm passionate about your growth. So let's take it to the next level now. We're talking about those students, those lifelong learning students. They're hungry. They are hungry to grow. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine this week and today. Her name's Donna, and I was talking to her son, Jake. Her son, Jake, is 11 years old. This kid is hungry. And I asked, what are 2 words that describe a student, a lifelong learning student? Here they are. First one was insatiable. Whew, what a great word, insatiable. Man, can you feel the power of that word? Insatiable means insatiably hungry, insatiably curious, asking great questions, insatiable with a drive, committed to achieving the goal. Kind of reminds me of a song from the 80s by Duran Duran, On the Prowl. The insatiably hungry student is on the prowl, and they're hungry like the wolf, and they don't quit until they capture their prey. That's a lifelong learner. That's a hungry student. Now, the question is, when that student is ready, and most of the time these type I've described are, then the mentor appears. But the question is right now, mentors, this is for you. Are you even watching? Are you looking out for these hungry lifelong students, these insatiably hungry students? Because the other word that Donna told me, and it describes Jake, is relentless. That is a relentless pursuit. They don't tire. They don't quit. They keep going. And they go to their last breath. Every sweat, that they sweat blood to get to where they want to go. Mentors, can you handle that? Are you even looking for that? Right now, for me, that description, that's who I'm looking for. That's who I'm looking for. That's who I want to coach. That's who I want to be around. That's who I want to mentor. What about you? What about you? Do you notice them? Are you even looking for them mentors? Mentors, are you looking for these kind of students? Because they're out there. Or are you, my window's right here. Are you, instead of looking at that door and getting out of it to go find these students, are you gazing out the window, enjoying your office, gazing out the window, lost in thought, and lost completely, not even aware of these students, these lifelong learners out there, screaming for your attention, screaming for you to pour into them, screaming to go to the next level? You see, I'm reminded of a wise saying that the harvest is plenty, but the mentors, the laborers, are few. So are the few here? Are the few here in the Steel Toes tribe? Then let's go. Put your boots on. Let's go. Let's go find them. Mentors, you have to take action. You have to go find them. You've got to put out the vibe. You got to put out the frequency. You got to go where they're at. You need to capture the pulse of the people. You need to understand what they're saying, what they need, and quit building programs for things that you don't even know what they need. Creating is great, but if it doesn't serve the population that's out there needing to be served, it's worthless. Create programs of value for the people who are telling you what they need. And a great mentor, it also does this. If that's not you, if that particular person that's looking for that mentor isn't a fit for you, not everyone is, do you have somebody to point them to? Do you have mentors that you can pass other people to if they're not a fit for you? That's an abundance mindset. Scarcity mindset says that's my competitor. I don't want to do that. Well, you can't service them. They're not a fit for you. You're going to leave them out there to the sharks? These are hungry. These are fish that are jumping out of the water into the boat needing a mentor. Pass them along. Pass them along. You see, we've got to be more aware of the people we're coming across looking for mentors. And students that are out there, if the mentors aren't listening, go to the mentors that are out there. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Corey. So glad you're joining me. The quote again this week from Mark Cole. When the student is ready, the mentor appears. The mentor appears. Students are ready. And I believe there are more students ready than there are mentors, even though they have the title, that are ready. Mentors. You got to get with it. You got to get moving. You got to get hungry. You got to get rid of the title, get out from behind the desk, and get into the water. Get into the water, go catch the fish. The fish are there. You got to go to where they're at. You got to speak their language. You got to learn their needs. And then you pour into them to get them where they want to go. Not where you want to go. You know where you want to go. They know where they want to go. Help them get there. Help them get there. Direct them to people who can help them get there. And so, folks, yes, thank you, Melanie. I'm with you. Exactly. Come on. Come on. Go ahead and step on those toes. I think some ribs broke there. So, let's go. What are we waiting for? If we're talking about transformation, if we're talking about changing lives, if we're talking about making a difference, reaching our full potential, and every other cliche that's out there, then we've got to get out there. Quit talking and start doing. That's it. Because when you're doing, you're attracting. And when you're attracting, the students are ready. They're waiting for you, mentors, to appear. That's who they're waiting for. Mentors, if you're not ready for students, then either feed yourself and get busy, or go get yourself a job so the rest of us can do what we're called to do, and that's impact lives and make a difference. And so there you have it. There's a whole lot more I've got here, and you know what? I'm going to put it in a blog. I'm speaking it right now. This is something I picked up this week. I'm blogging. I'm creating the blog, and this will be the first blog I put out there to post. Because there's so much here for mentors. There's so much here for students. And we've got to get busy. And also, let me drop this one. Not only should we mentors be mentors, we should also be students. You have to have one, and you have to be one. You have to have mentors. You need to be a mentor. Mentors, you have to have students. You also have to be a student. Like attracts like. You can't give, what John Maxwell says it all the time, can't give what you don't have. You can't be a mentor if you're not being mentored. And if you're not being a student, you ain't attract. There are going to be no mentors appearing in your path. Again, go back to the beginning. If you're not being a student, your action step this week, call a mortician. Make it official. And there you have it. Your action step mentors, get out and start being aware of who's around you, what they're saying. It'll be funny. If you start looking for students, it's kind of like, buying the new car, getting it off the lot. You think you've got the best make, the best model, and that only color of all three of those in your area. And before you get home, you've seen 5. Exact same. It's the same thing with these students. If you're looking for them, you're going to find them. And when you find them, there's going to be an abundance of them. And there's going to be so many of them, you can't handle them all. And that's when you bring in those other mentors that you know and bring those mentors in, collaborate, and give opportunities to them as well. Students, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep growing. Those mentors will show up. And if the mentors don't show up, you keep searching and you keep moving forward and you keep persisting and persevering until you get one. Ask and you'll receive. It's true. And so with that, that's your hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week, number 46. Hope you enjoyed that. I mean, I got a new energy this week. I got poured into, and yeah, you're going to see a lot more of this. I'm excited. I'm very excited about what I'm doing. I love what I do, and I love you guys. And I appreciate each one of you that takes the time to watch this, that takes the time to like and comment, and also share with your friends. I have put something out there, and I hope you catch it, because I'm looking forward to sharing messages like this to more audiences out there. So with that, I'm going to close with the blessing. And I'm with you, Melanie. Be ready. Be ready. Here's the blessing. I pray the blessing of bread that you know no hunger, the blessing of salt, that your life would be flavorful and it would be flavorful to others. And I pray the blessing of wine, that joy and prosperity would be yours, and that the love of God would be your portion this day and forevermore. Thank you for joining me this week on the hashtag Steel Toes Required Quote of the Week. Have a great one, friends. Take care.